Hello again and welcome to this video on adjusting the graphing window on a TI84 Plus graphing calculator. This is an important skill for all levels of applied math, the 30 and 40 especially that we teach at this school, as you'll need to constantly be readjusting the window on your calculator for a question you're working on. The default grid shown in your graph window on your calculator runs from -10 at the left side of the x-axis to +10 at the right side of the x-axis, and -10 on the low end of the y-axis to +10 on the top end of the y-axis. That grid's shown here. You're probably familiar with seeing that grid when you press graph on your calculator. If we want to adjust the grid and see more or less of the graph than we can see originally, we need to know the terms that the calculator uses for each direction. If you want to see more of the graph off to the right of the graph that you can see currently, you want to adjust your x max value. If you want to see more of the graph to the left of what you can see currently, you adjust your x min value. To see down, lower down than you can currently see, you adjust your y min value, and up is associated with the y max value. When you adjust the window, or you need to adjust the window when you can't see things that we consider important on your graph. Typically, when you're working with a graph in applied math, you want to be able to see any x-intercepts that the graph has, the y-intercept if the graph has one, any maximum or minimum values if that's applicable, and any intersection points with other graphs. It's quite common that we'll graph two graphs and be interested in where those two graphs cross. In this video, we'll focus just on showing the x and y intercepts. If you look at the screen below, this is the graph of a linear function. It's y equals 3x plus 14. On this graph, we can see the x-intercept. That's fine, but we can't see the y-intercept. The graph gets cut off before we quite see where the y-intercept is. So since we need to see further up to see our y-intercept, we want to increase the y max value. So you press the window button on your calculator, and you look for the y max line right here, and set it to a higher number. Now this is a little bit of guess and check, a little bit of educated guessing. You can see we could almost see the y-intercept on the original graph, so we're not going to raise it too much. In this example, I raised it from 10 to 20. When we press graph again, we can see that yes, we can in fact see the x-intercept, and we can see the y-intercept, which is the important information for this graph. So we're good to go. If there's any other questions, we could continue on and answer them. If I graph y equals -x minus 32, and you could pause the video here and try this yourself, and then press graph on a standard grid, we don't see anything. That's because the values on this graph don't happen to fall within -10 and 10 on the x or the y axis. So if something like this happens, you can try adjusting all your window values to zoom out and see if you can start seeing something about the graph. I look at that 32, that's not too big, so I don't want to jump out too large. So what I did is I changed my x min, my x max, my y min, and my y max all from -10 and 10 to -20 and 20. Let's see what we see. Oh, sorry. After that adjustment to the -20 and 20, I do see some of my graph. I see a bit of the line right there, but I still can't see my x or my y intercept. I need to see more to the left to be able to see my x-intercept. That means I'm going to have to adjust the x min value, and I need to see further down to see my y-intercept, which means I'm going to have to adjust my y min value. So in the window over here, you can see I made my x min value a larger negative number to show more to the left, and I made my y min value a larger negative number to see more of the graph down below what the window is currently showing. And what we get is a graph where we can see both intercepts. In conclusion, don't be afraid of playing with the window settings. You can always get back to the standard window by pressing the zoom key and then selecting option 6, Z standard. That will take you back to the standard -10 to 10 graph, and you can start playing with your windows again. Thanks for watching.